Hey you guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. So originally I did not intend for this video to be the one going up today. I actually filmed a get ready with me yesterday with a different makeup look that I was planning on going up today because for a minute I forgot that today was actually St. Patrick's Day. And I was like, well, I want to film a green makeup look, but it's going to be kind of late to put it up on Sunday. So I am putting this up today, and then the video on Sunday will be what I filmed yesterday, where I'm talking about like, oh yay, I'm excited, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day, and our new couches, and what we did that weekend, and all of that stuff. So the videos are just kind of swapped. So this video is actually going up on the day I'm filming it. I'm super happy. I love St. Patrick's Day, so I wanted to do some makeup for you guys. So my eyebrows are already done, and so is my skincare. My eyebrows today are the Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade 2.5. And then I also used my very old Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. Brows are done, skincare is done. I am going in with a primer. I'm using the same primer I've been using recently. This is the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. So anyway, I want you guys to tell me down below what you guys are doing for St. Patrick's Day. Obviously, we really can't go out. We can't, do any big events, anything like that. Though I'm so happy to see that they dyed the river in Chicago green this year, because last year they canceled it to avoid crowds, and this year they actually tricked everyone, which is fantastic and very fitting, and didn't say a word about it, and then went ahead and dyed the river. So I'm super happy. It was so nice seeing the photos. It makes me happy. Let me know what you're doing at home, or if you're doing going out for dinner or something. We haven't been going out to eat unless it's fast food, takeaway that we can eat in our car. Besides, there are hardly any restaurants around me that do good corned beef. So I'm going in with a Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. This is in the shade Light. One thing you guys may not know is I'm actually really, really good at cooking. It's one of the few things I can say, yeah, I'm good at that. Or I feel like I can say I'm good at that. But cooking and baking, I'm very, very comfortable with. So tonight I am making corned beef. I make it in a crock pot. What's funny is I talk about all of this in Sunday's video too. But anyway, I make it with, you can make it with cabbage, is traditional. But I like making it with sauerkraut because it adds so much flavor. So right now I have a huge, 4-pound chunk of corned beef in our crock pot with some sauerkraut, and then I'm going to make mashed potatoes to go with it. And the reason I make such a big one is my family eats corned beef like crazy. It's one of their favorite meals, but corned beef's really expensive and it's got nitrates in it, so it's not that good for you. I try and buy nitrate-free meat whenever possible. I will drive all the way up an hour to Whole Foods to get nitrate-free hams for completely uncured hams for Easter and Christmas and stuff. But I also love having leftovers because the deli corned beef, at least here in Ohio, is awful. It is so bad. We had one brand that I could find at Sam's Club forever ago that was really good, and then they stopped carrying that brand. And I haven't been able to find one since, which makes me so mad. But anyway, the other reason I like leftovers so much is because I love making homemade Reubens. And if you have extra freshly made corned beef, you can make Rubens so easily. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I really shouldn't have done my foundation first because I'm doing like a bright green eyeshadow, so that probably wasn't the best call, but you know, we're already here. This is what happens when I start talking while doing my makeup. I do it in completely the wrong order every time. Anyway, I love using corned beef to make Rubens. So I got marbled rye bread. We already have the sauerkraut. And then we have Swiss cheese. And I don't like Thousand Island dressing on sandwiches, so we actually use mayonnaise. I know, but it's really good. And then we toast them. Like, we'll put them on a pan and cover the rye bread with butter, and we'll toast them like a grilled cheese. It's so good. I love it. We went like a whole summer where that's all me and my husband ate. It was like fruit and Rubens. It was amazing. I am going to work on my eyes while my foundation sets. So, couple options for green eyeshadow. I like having a variety of shades to work with. So, out of the palettes I have, the only ones I have that have good like pure green shadows that aren't like teal or too mustardy are the Morphe and Jeffree Star palette, the Morphe and James Charles palette, and if you're not comfortable with those, the NYX Ultimate palette, the Brights palette, which I also mentioned in my video on Sunday. This is like a magical Easter egg palette with like gorgeous colors in it. This also has two beautiful greens in it. So pretty. So, but today I'm going to be working in the Morphe and Jeffree Star palette because this has this really nice metallic dark green drive-through that I want to add into the look. And it also has Glam Rapids, which is a like metallic-y green highlight shade. This has like 4 greens in it, so if you're really into green shadows and you have this palette, then it's a really good one to use. So I just put some concealer on my lids and we're going to blend that any creasing. And like always, I'm going in first with my Morphe M330 brush, and I'm taking the shade Lynn, which is a super pale bone colored shade. I'm popping that under my brow bone. Next, I'm going in with Wake and Bake, which is like an awesome avocado green shade. And we're putting this in our crease and slightly above. So I've been feeling a little bit mixed about Morphe stuff lately. Don't get me wrong, I love the quality of the eyeshadows. The only thing is it seems like they do so many collabs, but a lot of the people they tend to do collabs with end up being slightly problematic or drama filled, and you guys know I am not into the dramatic beauty YouTuber thing. It's part of the reason why I tend to branch my channel out a little bit more, even though I love makeup, because it's not always the nicest community, unfortunately. Like, I feel hesitant recommending them, not because of quality, but because so many of the really good palettes are made with very dramatic people, and I feel uncomfortable with it because I don't want to be like, hey, here's a palette, and then that person has some sort of scandal or issue or problem or something, and then I don't want you guys to think that I am promoting that person as a person when I'm just like, hey, this palette is a nice palette. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm probably honestly overthinking this, and just my anxiety with everything has been level like 4,000 lately. Like, it's so bad. I wake up with panic attacks, which apparently is not normal. So I've actually been playing a lot more Animal Crossing because it's one of those things that chills me out a bit. So next we are going to go in with the shade Nate. And I'm going to pop that on my lid. These shedding brushes. And I'm just putting that on like the outer half to outer 2/3 of my eye. Because I really want that dark green metallic in this section. Okay, now I'm going to go in with Drive Through. This is a gorgeous dark green metallic. It's so pretty. And I'm just popping this on the outer third of my lid. I know normally we put like metallics in the middle and stuff, but it's kind of fun to change it up a little bit. And this color is just that perfect like sagey green with the metallic. I love it. It's really nice. Shades like this usually go on better with a finger than with a brush. So I'm trying to be very, very careful with it because it's hard to apply a shadow on your outer corner with a fingertip. Okay, now I'm going to grab a teensy tiny detailer brush. I love this brush. I will probably always own this brush forever. This is the Real Techniques accent brush. I call it a detailer brush. You can call it whatever basically, but it's probably one of my favorite brushes for them. And from them, I've had 2 cups of coffee. I swear you guys, I don't know. I've only been getting like 6 hours of sleep a night lately. This is Glam Rapids. This is such a pretty green. So I'm just putting this on the inner third. And then using this for a highlight shade. Now I'm not going to take this underneath my eye, because I think that would just be a little too much for basically staying home. If you're going out, like, you know, if we pretend this was like St. Patrick's Day 2 years ago and you were going out somewhere or just taking photos at home, then yeah, absolutely. But I'm just going to keep it right on that highlight spot. And then for underneath, you guys know I like to balance brighter looks by using a more neutral shade on my lower lash line. So I think today I'm taking my teensy tiny Morphe M508 brush and going into What's the Tea. It's this really nice like camel color, like a dark camel. And just lining the outer half of my bottom lash line with this shade. This brush is excellent if you like a really tight, thin, defined lower lash line and you don't want it too diffused. This is excellent for that. I also find that the bristles are packed tightly enough that it doesn't flick powder up into my eye, which is very nice. And then I'm grabbing my teensy tiny detailer brush again, wiping it off, and I'm going into Designer Label, which is the champagne shade, and using that underneath my lash line to blend into that camel color, because I do like a nice strong highlight on my lower lash line. I find that especially if you have smaller eyes, it makes all the difference. Okay, we are done with that palette for now. Well, for the look. And I'm grabbing my eyelash curler, going to curl my eyelashes really quick. I always curl my eyelashes before we do liner. All right, for liner today, I am pulling a slightly older liner. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner Liquid Eyeliner. This is excellent if you like the super thin brush tip liners. And if you like super colorful eyeliner, I find that Wet n Wild's are really nice. This is from their bird theme that they did a couple of years ago. It's called Winged and Wild. And it's this really pretty dark green. See how tiny that brush is? This is so good for super thin lines. Like if you have trouble with wings, I highly suggest finding a liner with a super thin brush like this. So I just did a little green wing. I think it's so cute. And I haven't been loving like big, thick, chunky wing liner lately. So a thin brush like this is perfect. Eyeliner is done. I am going to take my beauty blender and just go over my cheeks real quick. Just to make sure nothing smudged or shifted because I had to have my hand on my face so much. It's the other reason I usually do my eyes first, but thankfully, even with all that green, my under eyes are still looking pretty good. All right, that is the eyes. Not done because we need to add mascara. I'm using the Wet n Wild Big Papa mascara. This has been my go-to whether I'm filming or not. This stuff is incredible. So good if you like nice thick lashes. I mean, like that difference, that's crazy. All right, you guys, the eyes are all done. I love this. My eyes actually look huge right now, which is very unusual. All right, let's go ahead and do some bronzer real quick. I'm going in with NARS Laguna, which I'm just using today because that is what happened to be open on my desk. And my e.l.f. highlighting brush, which is incredible for contouring, especially if you like a really soft diffused contour that you really don't notice in person. Like I don't like super strong contour. That kind of contour looks great on camera, but horrible in person. And you know me, I love makeup that looks good on camera and in person. That's like my thing that I love the most, is makeup that can do both. And that's just because most of us don't spend our lives entirely on camera. I mean, right now, we kind of spend our lives entirely on camera. But I mean, you know, when things are over, we see people in person. I'm doing a lot of talking with my hands today. I don't know what's up. For blush, I'm going with a very neutral blush because there is a lot going on with the eyes. So I'm going in with Tarte's Party, which I finally hit pan on a while ago. I love this blush. This is so pretty. If you want just a nice neutral, not too pink, not too purple, not too orange, just a nice soft blush that works with anything, this is that blush. And then I like taking my beauty blender and just going over this area to make sure I didn't take that blush down too low, because that can really drag your face down. And then I'm grabbing my Becca Champagne Pop Highlighter, which is a mess because I had to repress it because I broke it, but you know, it works. This is a nice champagne-y goldy highlight, so it's so pretty, especially with green makeup. And then to finish off the lips, I want to keep it really simple today. And I'm just doing Too Faced Pumpkin Spice Ultra Plush Lip Gloss. I got this a while ago as a gift from my mom, and it's really pretty. And it's just a really nice, soft, peachy color. If you don't like glitter on your lips, you're not going to like this. So I would recommend going with something else. But if you don't mind a little bit of sparkle, and if you've been around here for any length of time, you definitely do not mind sparkle, then go with this one. Another option for a similar color with slightly less glitter is the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in PS. Very, very similar shades, just the pumpkin spice is more glittery. But when you're doing a super strong color on your eyes, green, blue, and purple are the three that come to mind off the top of my head, especially if you have colored hair or you have very pale skin. I highly recommend going with a more neutral lip. Otherwise, if you do red or bright pink or do something else that is a super strong lip color, then it's almost too much and it can look a little like you know, dived into your mommy's makeup box. So I like to really balance out the looks and make them as wearable as possible. But anyway, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this look. I hope you give it a try yourself, especially if you haven't tried doing green eyeshadow before. It's so much fun and it's so different. And it's a lot more wearable than most people think. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. You can also keep up with me on Twitter and Instagram, and all the links for those are down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.